I've been seeing a lot. Normally, I don't like to talk about harsh and divisive politics or like that, but during the past week, I've just been feeling really low, and but I've also seen a lot of positive stuff and I feel, and after seeing a bunch of people talking about the issue, I feel like it's appropriate that someone like me talk about why.
Hi guys, it's me again, and today we're going to look at some of the interesting users on, you would never believe it, Blue Sky. That's right. And I don't know how
Already tell.
this keeps happening, but yesterday, after Charlie Kirk was brutally murdered, he was shot in the throat, bled out on stage in front of everybody, including his own family and his children. The number of people in the games industry who decided to go on.
I just look at this. Um, is that to their public? Wow, these guys are making your games.
To social media, particularly Blue Sky. A lot of these people, you have to understand that many of these people have already been run off of Twitter because there's a level of discourse and negativity that they can't really deal with. So the only place that they can really exist is on effectively a reservation like Blue Sky, where their opinions are protected and they're allowed to be vitriolic and nobody's allowed to tell them that they're wrong. Well, that's why we're making this video. We're going to be looking at some of the different people that, after the death of Charlie Kirk, decided to, and I'm not really going to be going through, everybody is going to draw the line at a different place. Here's where I draw the line. I personally have a big problem with people that are celebrating him being killed. I don't have a big deal if somebody says I don't like him or I never liked him or something like that. But for the people that are celebrating for him being killed, advocating for future violence, and saying that it's a good thing, I think that's what crosses the line for me. And I think that's what crosses the line for any reasonable, normal person. And so anyway, we're going to go through a number of people. And the first thing I wanted to start out with today is that maybe you guys remember this from the beginning of the year. It was a big content year, I would say that. And people might have forgotten, but there is a person who decided to advocate for killing your local MAGA. This was a Blizzard employee. And I want to say that after the video that I made on him and a lot of other people made on him, this person lost their job and effectively has ruined their life. And I want
That is absolutely and completely acceptable if you ask me.
nothing more than for the exact same thing to happen to the people in this video too. So I hope that after you guys see these individuals and you see what they're advocating for, you'll be able to go out and tell their employer, hey, you know what? Maybe I'm not comfortable funding a video game that is employing people that are advocating for the brutal murder of a person in front of their family. And it's absolutely insane, but it's also not surprising. And so
I just remembered I saw a post by one of the head of Epic Games. He was actually said that he actually saw people complaining about it. He said that speech that this type of speech is protected by the First Amendment. And after hearing that, I want nothing more than their stocks to combo like Super Fortnite.
So anyway, we're going to go through some of these. Obviously, I put out a post about this before. This was yesterday. If you guys want to make a list, and this is something, I'll go ahead and just contextualize it all. So there's several game developers that are liking posts that are people mocking Charlie Kirk's assassination. We'll look at pretty much who these people are. We'll start off with this. These are people, Dennis. Let's look at this, and this is also on Blue Sky. I'm 6'5" and Vans, Blue Sky Social, sound effects associate at Bungie. So Bungie, you know the game that's trying to make Marathon. I guess they were too busy. Well, he's doing sound effects, not visual effects. So maybe he actually has to do his job rather than just copy pasting something off of Twitter. But anyway, you've got somebody like this who's advocating for, and again, people might think that it's not a big deal. Oh, well, these people aren't making these statements themselves. These people aren't really saying anything that is that extreme. Here's the reason why it's a big problem. The reason why is because it creates an ecosystem and an environment where the actual extremism and the actual radical behavior is feeling comfortable. It feels comfortable in an environment where you have this blase, passive acceptance of it, and you have people that are just basically complicit with it, but they're not openly saying it. They're just privately doing it, or they're just privately voicing their support as well. And well, I guess in this case, it's not private anymore, is it? And so anyway, we have a associate producer at Bungie who is liking and promoting tweets that are celebrating the death of a person being shot in the neck in front of their family and bleeding out profusely on the stage in front of millions of people. And so good job, Bungie. Really good winners you've got here. I can't wait to play Marathon. I thought that my expectations for the game couldn't be lower, but somehow Dennis has managed to fulfill, or exceed those expectations, you could say. I've got another one also. Kelly, senior producer at Sucker Punch, amateur cosplay armor, D&D enjoyer, source of corgi pics, they and she. Okay, so we have also, and you're going to see this word, this term, Sucker Punch, a number of times. We're not talking about the action, but we are talking about the company. This is the company that makes the game, or that is making the game Ghosts of Yotai. Ghosts of Yotai, and this is also important to keep in mind, is that the voice actress for the game, for the character itself, has gone multiple times on record making the most deranged, stupid comments like defunding the police. She's just your typical, like, libtard, insaniac, moron, retard, right? It's not really that complicated. But what it really indicates is that there's a culture in this company and there's a culture in this environment where this type of radical, violent behavior and language is normalized. You have multiple people at the company that are all saying these things, and we're going to get to the other ones too. This is another person here also that works at the company.
Sorry, this will just take a moment. Right.
And so you can see right here, obviously, this is them retweeting or posting something that they did with the game. And then right after that, I hope the shooter's name is Mario so that Luigi knows his bro got his back. And I've been noticed that Twitter has noticed me from the... I've been told that Twitter has noticed me from across the room. Well, we certainly have. We absolutely have. And I think that these kinds of comments are absolutely disgusting. This is a person that works at a massive game company, and they're openly advocating for on public platforms.
Also, I kind of noticed that you can that this was taken before Blue Sky got locked down. Now you can't access the search bar before creating an account because of, well, what the shit that's been going down. I said that a lot of people have been losing their jobs because for saying and defending all this shit, justifying violence. I'm completely behind that. And because of that, you can no longer go to Blue Sky, search and see all these things without creating an account first. But honestly, it's kind of worth it. Just create your account, use a fake name or an alias, or as you wish. Don't post the second thing and just use that thing for screenshots. It's gonna be
and promoting and celebrating the murder of a random person. This is disgusting. It's really disgusting. And in my opinion, I don't think that it should be tolerated. And that's the reason why I'm making this video. I think that everybody should try to message anybody that works at this company, anybody who, like any sort of PR, any management, anything like that. Let them know that you don't want to support a company that employs people that celebrate the murder of innocent people just for exchanging ideas. This is a disgusting, disgusting thing to do. And you can see also, and I think this is a systemic problem at the company itself. Whenever you have three people, the voice actress and then these two other people that are also doing this, I think that it's very obvious that this company has been infected with the same kind of moral rot that many other video game companies have unfortunately been affected by. And so you have also Zibs, they, them, always a very good indicator of mental awareness and normality. A producer at Magic the Gathering. So this person works at, I'm assuming, Wizards of the Coast. And they're working at Magic the Gathering Arena. Previously also at, wow. Wow, what are the wow, what are the odds of that? What a coincidence. And so what you've got here, this is, again, another person who is celebrating this type of violent behavior. And I think that, again, people need to make their voices known and make them heard that this is just simply not acceptable. This is not normal. This is not what average people want. We don't want to have people that are openly making statements and calls to violence like this, or celebrating calls to violence or actual violence like this, making our products. It's disgusting. And I know that some people would maybe consider and say, well, this is something that could be a little bit like cancel culture. And I want to say that it absolutely is. 100% is. The fact is that these are the same types of people who would lie about you and make up things about you and try to destroy your career and destroy your reputation for disagreeing with them on something.
There's honestly nothing more disgusting than someone making up an image of you in their head. They now begin to hate on that image, and the hate just continues to increase over time until finally they want you dead and they actually kill you. That's just how bad it is.
Political.
It's really bad. It happens and I hate it.
But now whenever it's happening to them, they're the victims. Well, if you want to be the victim, it's time to earn it. I think also, here's another thing, is that if you work at one of these companies and you have one of these individuals that works at your company, you do have a recourse to this, and that's calling and talking to HR. Because the fact is that HR does not operate in your best interest, and it doesn't operate in their best interest either. It operates in the best interest of the company. And when you have people that are making public statements and calls to violence and celebrating violence like that, they're creating a hostile and an unsafe work environment. And anybody who works in HR, or anybody who works inside of any sort of corporate environment, will tell you that that's something that just can't exist in a corporate environment. There's a reason why we have levels of decorum, and there are some levels of HR that make sense. And so if you work at one of these companies and you have a person like this doing it, make sure to talk to HR and let them know how uncomfortable you feel that there's a person who's working at your company who might want to advocate to have you killed because you disagree with them. Tell them that it makes you afraid to come into work. Tell them that, you don't know, maybe you're going to file a lawsuit. You feel unsafe at your workplace. And honestly, here's the important thing. You should feel unsafe, because these people would justify violence against anybody who disagrees with them. And just because you think you know them doesn't mean they wouldn't do the exact same thing to you. And this is them. This is the game that they're making right here. And you can see that they've made no statement about this. Now, let me ask you a very simple question. If these people made a degrading comment towards the trans community, for example, or towards the black community, for example, do you think Sucker Punch would have immediately fired them and made a statement? I think so. Absolutely. But for some reason, these people are protected. And the reason why they're protected is because there's a lot of other ones at the company that feel the exact same way that they do. That's the only logical reason that I have. And I think that at a certain point, Sony or
The only way to the only way to make sure something happens is when it hurts her.
Somebody needs to step in. Whoever owns this company needs to step in and root out this disease before it kills the entire company. Because I do think that it will have a tremendously negative effect on the game. And you can see this right here. This is a post that Sony made. I guess it was a couple of days ago about Ghosts of Yotai, and you can see 1,000 comments on this. Your senior dev at Sucker Punch is a violent leftist, etc. And these are more comments here. Never let up the pressure. Never, ever, ever do that. Keep this pressure up until these people lose their jobs. And then after they lose their jobs, then take a break, relax, pat yourself on the back, wait for them to get another one, and then do it again. And that's the only way that you should treat these animals. And that's exactly what they are. You shouldn't view them as people. You shouldn't view them as a person with a political disagreement from you. These are violent animals that are trying to destroy the last good thing that we have, which is the open ideas of political discourse. And
I'm kind of opposed to animals because deep down, I'm going to start talking a bit more. Feel like I'm getting to, but I feel like deep down we're all sinners. Every human capable of being so inhumanely disgusting that I don't that I can't even describe it on this platform on it. So, but how, how however, I'm still all for the discontinue the discontinue of violence and just because of a political opinion. I don't think we should ban. Let's just say I'm just opposed to violence entirely. Yeah, yeah. I think fighting violence is more violence. What simply just what people will use for justification for more violence. So we should just this.
they're celebrating murdering people for doing it. And as soon as that's
And I completely hate them for that. So these people are people, but we just can't tolerate what they're doing. We can tolerate the person, but just do not tolerate the acts. No one should be doing this whatsoever. And I mean,
starts happening, I don't want to know what's next. And the worst thing is that I already do. And I think you do too. And so anyway, we've got more of these. Here's recognition is not enough for me. I hope he tanks the studio. And cowards keep quiet. The studio deserves to go under. I understand why a lot of people at these companies don't speak up, which is why I suggest that if you work at one of these companies, please make sure to go to HR. Go to HR and file these complaints legitimately with them. There are certain legal things that they have to do, and in some cases, these people will pretty much lose their job for sure if enough people are discussing it. And you have also some people make comments like this. It's wild how the woke right, like Asmongold, Grums and others, showing themselves to be what they hate, authoritarian freaks that want to censor and silence anybody they despise. Yeah, I do. I do. I think that anybody who's advocating for killing people over speech like this should be censored. Absolutely. And this is just normal. Absolutely. I don't. There's this trick that a lot of people like this like to play, which is they try to use your own language and use your own morality against you. These people don't care about freedom of speech. They don't care about censorship. They don't care about any of that. They're simply trying to weaponize your values and use them against you in order for them to fulfill their own goals. And so every time that they try to make an appeal to your own values, you should ask yourself, do they hold these values? And if the answer is no, then you shouldn't take it seriously. Because this person is simply trying to use your values to subvert you and take advantage of you and to push their own agenda and to hurt you. And so never listen to this, never play into this game, never even acknowledge that that there's any validity to it at all. These people don't care about freedom of speech. The only time they bring it up is whenever they're trying to co-opt the person who does care about freedom of speech and make that person act against their own best interest. But anyway, we've got also, this is me, Asmon put out the call for finding game devs mocking, and there's another one here. This is the voice actor for Diluc and Genshin Impact. I hope they receive the same care.
Sadly, that's also the same voice actor for in Zero, and I'm really looking for. Honestly, I am genuinely disgusted with this because ReZero is my favorite isekai. It's just a beautiful film, and I just love the voice. I really, it's not like I didn't know the guy's political side, or that one was very obvious, but now it just feels bitter, bitter to me, very bitter.
That the average American citizen would get in the same situation. Really? So they're just going to fall down and die. Somebody gets shot in the neck like that with their blood like spurting out. There's no.
Like I really do not understand where he was going with that. Hope they all, I hope all the same. Hope they receive all the same care in care the average American citizen getting that he freaking died. No, think about this. The man freaking died. And they said they all received the same care.
No, there's no health care. You're not coming back from that, at least not anytime soon with the medical care that we have now. And so anyway, at least he came out, at least he goes out doing what he loved, being a bigot. Yeah, of course you have more comments like this, more people like this. And if shoot police go, if it's permanent, every post you make goes out to the public firehouse, captured by someone somewhere. The delete button doesn't do it. It's permanent, every post you make goes out to the public firehouse, captured by someone somewhere. The delete button doesn't do what you think it does. And so anyway, we have a lot of people, obviously, that are starting to say stuff, live by something. So she's obviously trying to make a statement of live by the sword, die by the sword. This is what, and I think that this is a very revealing statement, and I think this is going to be the last comment that I'm going to look at here, is that this statement's actually extremely revealing, because what it's saying is that from her perspective, living by the sword is the same as being killed. Speaking out and being able to, express your opinion on certain things should be met with the equivalence of deadly force. And that's really what these people want. They want to bully, push, fight, and if it comes down to it, kill you if you disagree with them. And that's why whenever somebody does do something insane like this, all of these people try to do mental gymnastics about why it was somehow justified, normalized, okay, acceptable, or something one way or another. The fact is that, live by the debate, die by a gunshot wound in the throat. No, I don't really think that makes a lot of sense, does it? But it doesn't sound as good as these, vapid, Yas Queen comments that people like her make on Blue Sky that have absolutely no pushback because they're on their own protected reservation away from anybody whose opinions could be different than their own. And that's the reason, and also those are the only people that are still left on the platform. And soon, if with enough effort and enough work, we can have enough of these people removed from our media, and removed from our public discourse, and removed from any sort of positions of power where they can exercise their completely maladjusted, totally deranged viewpoints and worldview. And so anyway, I want to let you know that this is definitely not the only amount of them that there are. I'm sure there's plenty more. And so if you want to express and show any of these other people, and you want to post one of their comments or anything like that, I would recommend anybody to go on over to Roach Ranch. This is a comment right here. Not comment, community right here. that I made on Twitter. I do not really moderate this at all. And if you guys want to post the different public comments that are being made by these different developers or these different people that are working in media celebrating this, and collectively we can contact their employers, contact the people that are around them, and have them get fired from their job. And do not, for even a second, think that this is not fair. It is absolutely fair. These people have been doing it to people like me for the better part of 5 years, and it's time the shoe goes on the other foot. They're disgusting, they're celebrating violence, and there shouldn't be any space for this in any sort of a polite society. But yeah, anyway, crazy things going on over at Sucker Punch Productions. Really, really crazy stuff. With that many weirdos and freaks working at the company, I wonder what this game's going to be like. I kind of don't want to know, but I kind of do. I think
There's something good up is I joke people in a warning by Charlie Carter using the jobs over online posts. I would open Blue Sky now, but I don't have an account. I can't go directly. Oh, it's such a Ow. I think he probably said that, but I never gonna read. I'm not going to justify that post. Way. I think I should lay my fan thoughts on this. Listen, I've been kind of emotional this past week. Can't say so. Going to so basically, what I'm just kind of agree that every emotion disagree with this. They deserve, they deserve it. But honestly, I'm not going to be emotional. I'm going to be objective. This glorification of violence in any form whatsoever is wrong. Violence should not exist in a country when people should not feel comfortable endorse violence or commit violent acts against another person, especially if you agree your opinion. It's, I guess what I'm going. That's what I'm gonna say. If you've been like me, grieving over this situation this past week, just know, just tell me in the comments, just to make sure, just to let me know I'm not alone in this. I honestly feel your pain. Guy got got shot. I felt like I was the one. When this guy died, I felt like I lost very dear. My entire family grieved his death. It was such a that's